There's something nobody ever told you about manifestation, something so subtle, so hidden in plain sight, that almost everyone overlooks it. And yet it's the difference between reality shifting in your favor and staying stuck exactly where you are. Here's the key. The moment you react, you reinforce. Not because emotion is bad, not because the universe is testing you, but because in vibrational terms, reacting is a confession. It's an energetic declaration to the quantum field, saying, "This circumstance defines me. This is the truth of my reality." And the quantum field, which is perfectly consistent and completely neutral, reflects that signal back to you with precision. Soon, I'll break this down in a way that will forever change how you think about creating reality. But before we get there, do me and yourself a favor. Take a second right now to like this video so more people can find this insight. Drop 777 in the comments to lock in your commitment to vibrational alignment, and share this with someone you know who's stuck in their manifestation journey. Because once you grasp this, you'll see why most people unintentionally reinforce the very reality they're trying to leave behind. Think about it. You might visualize your dream life every morning. You might journal your intentions, meditate on your goals, even fill your space with affirmations and vision boards. But if your nervous system still tenses at every email alert, every comment, every piece of unexpected news, then your broadcast isn't creation, it's confirmation. You're telling the field, "This is who I am, this is how it is, and I need to keep proving it." Every reaction is like a pin tethering you to your current timeline. You're saying, "Yes, this is real. Yes, this defines me. Yes, I'll keep feeding it energy." And the field, being both obedient and neutral, replies, "Understood," and amplifies it. This is the invisible loop trapping so many. They're not failing to manifest because they lack desire, most desperately want it. They're failing because they keep fueling the frequency of what is, instead of transmitting the frequency of what they choose. Reaction is sticky. It clings in ways you don't notice. It hides in the urgency, making you check your phone constantly. It hides in the need to explain yourself to people who don't matter. It hides in the way you seek signs just to feel you're on track. You think you're being proactive, but you're broadcasting attachment, and whatever you're attached to expands. Here's what nobody explains. Reacting isn't just anger or visible emotion. In quantum terms, reacting is any energetic shift that says, "I'm defined by this external thing." Even excitement over a small win, if rooted in relief or validation, still signals, "I didn't feel whole until this happened." The field reads that as dependency, not alignment. And dependency keeps you separate from the version of you who already has it. Picture two versions of yourself. One reacts, constantly scanning, adjusting, emotionally responding to every shift. This version is like a radio flipping stations at every static buzz. The other is you in full coherence, broadcasting one steady frequency, unwavering no matter what happens. The first is a leaf in the wind. The second is a lighthouse storms come, but the signal never falters. Which one does the field align with faster? Which one pulls your desired reality into being? Always, without exception, the coherent one. Soon, I'll explain why coherence beats desire and why non-reaction is the master key to manifestation. But first, understand this. Every time you react, you're not just feeling, you're reinforcing a timeline. You're choosing the same story, the same pattern, the same probability. To quantum jump into a reality where you already have what you desire, you must stop broadcasting your current reality's signal, and the fastest way is to stop reacting. Here's the truth. The quantum field doesn't speak English, Turkish, or any language. It doesn't care about your exact words, affirmations, or repeated phrases. The field operates on frequency, tuning into the vibration you emit in every moment, whether you realize it or not. When you react, that frequency is instantly marked by the emotion, meaning, and story you assign to the situation. It's like tagging your energy with a sign that says, "Send me more of this." And because the field is exact and unwavering, it delivers precisely what you're putting out. When a bill arrives and your stomach clenches, that's a frequency. When someone leaves your text unanswered and you feel dismissed, that's a frequency. When your boss critiques your work and you jump into defense mode, that's a frequency. Each reaction acts like an energetic order, except you're ordering more of the same. You aren't doing it intentionally, but the field doesn't run on conscious intent alone. It responds to your full vibrational output, the sum of your thoughts, emotions, and physical state. This is why so many people struggle with manifestation. They say, "I've been picturing my dream home for months. I recite affirmations daily. I even wrote a letter to my future self." Yet between those efforts, they react to everything that doesn't align with their vision. They check their bank account and feel dread. They glance around their apartment and feel discontent. They compare themselves to others and feel inadequate. And those tiny reactions are what the field amplifies, not the 5 minutes of morning visualization. Reacting tells the field, "This is my reality, and I'm emotionally attached to it." Here's the catch. The field doesn't label that reality good or bad. It just says, "Noted, let's reinforce this." That's why negative cycles are so stubborn. They aren't just mental habits. They're vibrational patterns the quantum field keeps locking into place because you keep validating them with every reaction. Now flip the script. Imagine something happens that would typically trigger you. A delay, a rejection email, an unexpected bill. Instead of reacting, you notice the trigger, pause, and stay calm. You embody the frequency of the version of you who already has what you want. In that moment, you tell the field, "This doesn't define me. My state is steady. My reality is chosen." The field starts shifting because you've stopped fueling the outcome you don't want. This is quantum detachment, not ignoring reality, but refusing to let it control your frequency. It's not about pretending nothing happened. It's about deciding which version of you responds. One version reacts and perpetuates the old story. The other stays aligned and signals the new story. Every time you choose alignment over reaction, you step into the timeline you desire. Next, I'll show how this non-reactive state collapses new possibilities in the quantum field, and why this shift often outweighs any manifestation technique you've tried. The quantum field isn't some distant, mystical realm. It's the invisible framework you're in right now. At every moment, it holds endless possibilities for your life. The version of you struggling, the version thriving, the version in perfect flow. These aren't fantasies. They're frequencies as real as the phone in your hand, existing as potential until you bring them into reality. Here's the key. You, as the observer, choose which possibility materializes. You do this not just with thoughts, but with your sustained vibrational output. When you react to circumstances, you're telling the field, "Yes, this is the version I pick." You collapse the chance for more bills, rejection, or disappointment because that's the frequency you've cemented through reaction. Picture walking down a hall with 1,000 doors, each leading to a different life. Reacting is like turning the same doorknob repeatedly, even though it opens to the reality you want to leave. You barely notice, because reaction feels automatic. But every sigh, flinch, or mental replay whispers, "Open this door again." Now imagine the opposite. You pass the door to your current struggles. You feel the tug to open it, the familiar pull of reaction, but you walk on. You fix your gaze on the door, matching your desired reality, stand before it, and hold your frequency firm. That's coherence. That's making a vibrational choice. And the moment you hold that state without reacting to the old reality, the quantum field starts reshaping the hallway itself, so the door you're standing at becomes the one that opens. This isn't magic, it's physics. The field responds to coherence because coherence is stable. Reaction is unstable. It's like a spotty signal, forcing the field to reset to what's familiar. But when your signal is clear and steady, the field locks onto it like a GPS. It rearranges people, events, and opportunities to match the frequency you're broadcasting. This is why manifestations sometimes seem to come out of nowhere. They don't appear randomly. You just held the signal long enough for the field to deliver. And the fastest way to hold it isn't more affirmations, vision boards, or rituals. It's removing the interference of reaction. Every time you don't react to the old reality, you weaken its grip. You pull energy away from it. At the same time, you feed the reality you actually want. That's when momentum shifts. That's when the evidence appears. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. Your nervous system starts normalizing the frequency of your desired reality. Next, we'll explore why your brain is wired to react and how to reprogram it so non-reaction becomes default. Once that happens, manifestation stops being an effort and starts being who you are. Here's the thing about your mind. Your brain is hooked on reacting. This isn't just a metaphor, it's chemistry. Every reaction, anger, anxiety, jealousy, even relief floods your brain with neurochemicals. Dopamine, cortisol, adrenaline, powerful stuff. Your body craves them like a drug. Over time, reaction becomes a loop. Something happens. Your brain triggers an emotional spike. Your body feels it, and your mind hunts for the next thing to react to. Spiritually, this is a major block to manifestation. Your body gets wired to your current reality's vibration. Even if your mind says, "I want abundance, peace, love," your nervous system still seeks the highs and lows of struggle, scarcity, and uncertainty. The quantum field doesn't follow your wish list. It follows your dominant vibration. This is why people unconsciously create drama. Ever notice someone who always has a crisis, even when things are good? That's not luck. It's a nervous system addicted to reactions chemistry. The body feels uneasy. In calm, abundance, or stability, it's not used to those frequencies. So it seeks situations that trigger familiar emotional spikes. To break free, you must recondition both mind and body. Quantumly, this means holding your desired reality's frequency long enough for the field to stabilize it. Neurologically, it's rewiring your brain so non-reaction feels safe. First step, awareness. Catch yourself when you want to react. Don't judge it, just notice. My body wants to react. My old programming is firing. This alone disrupts the loop by shifting you from automatic to conscious. Second step, regulation. Bring your body into coherence. Breathe deeply, relax your shoulders, soften your jaw, lengthen your exhale. This tells your nervous system, we're safe, no threat. When your body believes that, it stops craving chemical spikes. Third step, replacement. Give your brain and body a new anchor. Deliberately feel the frequency of your desired reality, not in words, but sensation. How would it feel if you were already living it? Slow your breath. Feel relief, expansion, certainty. Hold that for 60 seconds. At first, your mind will resist, but with repetition, this becomes your new baseline. Here's the magic. The quantum field responds instantly to your shifted signal. It doesn't care if you're just practicing, it mirrors the frequency you hold. The more you hold it, the faster your external reality matches. This is how non-reaction becomes a way of being. Next, I'll walk you through a real-time example of applying this when triggered, so you can shift from reaction to coherence in under 2 minutes. Let's break it down. Imagine you're at work and you get an email from your boss with the subject line, "We need to talk." Instantly, your stomach drops. Your mind starts racing. What did I do? Am I in trouble? Is my job on the line? This is the moment most people unconsciously slip into the old reality. They spiral into worst-case scenarios, feel fear in their body, maybe even text co-workers in panic. The signal to the quantum field is clear. I'm not safe. I'm under threat. My reality is shaky, and the field, like a perfect mirror, reflects that instability back. Here's how to flip it. Step 1. Pause. Before you type a word, before you replay a single thought, stop. Notice, my body is reacting. This moves you from being in the emotion to watching it. Step 2. Regulate. Breathe in deeply through your nose. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth. As you do, drop your awareness from your head to your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Relax your shoulders. Whisper to your body, "We're safe." Step 3. Choose your frequency. Instead of feeding the fear, consciously tune into the version of you who's calm, grounded, and secure. Ask, if I were already living the reality I want, how would I handle this? Maybe you'd think, it's just a chat, I've got this. Maybe you'd even feel curious, not scared. The key is to embody that state. Not just think it. Let it sink into your breath, your posture, your tone. Step 4. Act from that state. Now, open the email or reply not from panic, but from presence. Your words will carry a new energy. Your tone shifts. And because your energy is aligned, you're more likely to steer the outcome effortlessly. This works for any trigger: a delayed plan, an unexpected bill, a social media dig, even a relationship hiccup. The trigger isn't the issue. It's your reaction that traps you in the problem's timeline. Interrupt that, and you're no longer stuck in your current story. You're stepping into the timeline where the version of you who already has what you want is in charge. With practice, this gets faster. At first, it might take 2 minutes to reset. Soon, it's automatic. You feel the trigger, breathe, and snap back into alignment. And here's the wild part. The more you do this, the fewer those old triggers appear, because the quantum field stops echoing them back. Next, we'll dive into why this works vibrationally and how holding alignment doesn't just manifest one goal, it rewires your entire life. Early on, it might seem like you're only applying this to small moments. An email, a bill, traffic. But here's the truth. Each moment is a micro-vote for a specific reality. Stack enough votes, and you don't just manifest one thing, you upgrade your entire vibrational baseline. Your baseline is your life's operating system. It shapes who you meet, what opportunities arise, how your body feels, and how you see the world. If it's set to react, you'll attract chaos, stuck in highs and lows. But if it's aligned, the field reorganizes around that stability. You stop manifesting chaos because your signal no longer matches it. Think of it like a radio. If you're stuck on 98.7 FM, you'll only hear that station's songs. You can wish for 101, 3 FM. But until you turn the dial, the playlist won't change. Long-term alignment is locking the dial to your desired frequency and letting the music shift. Here's the ripple effect. Stop reacting in one area, and it spills into others. Stop stressing over money, and relationships feel lighter. Stop fearing criticism, and you take bolder career leaps. Stop resisting delays, and you start syncing with perfect timing. Why? Because reaction in one area reinforces lack in all areas. Remove it in one place, and you weaken the entire network of limitation. This is why some people seem to have a breakthrough moment where everything shifts at once. It's not random luck. It's the moment their baseline frequency crossed a threshold. The field rearranged so completely that every part of life began reflecting the new signal. This is also why your results can speed up. The more aligned you become, the faster the feedback loop works for you. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you're shaping them. Instead of being pushed by life, you're steering it. And here's the key. Alignment doesn't mean you never feel emotions. It means you feel them fully without letting them override your frequency. You can feel sadness, frustration, or fear, yet stay aware they're passing waves, not the ocean. You let them move through without reacting in a way that anchors them into your reality. That's mastery. In the final part, we'll tie it all together. I'll show how to make non-reaction your natural state, so you're not trying to manifest anymore. You're just living as the version of you who already has it all. Let's connect the dots. Everything you want already exists in the quantum field. It's not distant, waiting for perfect conditions. It's here now, vibrating at a specific frequency. Every thought, emotion, or reaction either tunes you to it or locks you into your current one. When you react, you tell the field, "This is my truth." And the field, like a perfect mirror, reflects it back. When you stay aligned, you send a new message. "I'm already living my chosen reality." That's when the field reorganizes to match your signal. This is the heart of manifestation. It's not about wishing, chasing, or forcing belief. It's about being. The version of you who already has it doesn't wonder when it's coming. They live it. They speak from it. They act from it. They move with certainty it's done. And when you embody that now, the gap between wanting and having vanishes. Remember, the goal isn't to never react. You're human. Emotions will surge. Triggers will come. Mastery is noticing the reaction early, pausing it, and returning to your chosen frequency faster each time. With practice, alignment stops being effort. It becomes your norm. So here's your 7-day challenge. Notice every reaction, big or small. When you catch one, pause, breathe, drop into your body. Then ask, what would the version of me who already has it do? And act from there. Do this consistently, and the field will respond. Not slowly, but instantly. If you keep showing up this way, manifestations won't need forcing. They'll flow, natural reflections of the frequency you live in. The moment you stop reacting, the old timeline fades and the new one forms. At first, it may feel subtle, small synchronicities, a lighter mood, unexpected ease. But if you stay steady, those hints become undeniable shifts, opportunities aligning, relationships improving, resources arriving effortlessly. That's when you see. Manifestation was never about getting something. It was about becoming the person who no longer chases, but attracts. Non-reaction isn't passivity. It's actively creating your reality. You're no longer a character in a story. You're holding the pen. And every time you choose presence over reaction, you write yourself into a life that matches your highest frequency. So the work is simple. Keep your signal clear, stay steady, and let the field do its job. Reflect you perfectly. The field isn't keeping score. It's taking snapshots. Every moment, it captures your state and prints it into your life. If that snapshot is alignment, calm, and certainty, your life will mirror it exactly. And here's the magic. The field doesn't need time like you think. It doesn't need a slow build-up, a sequence of perfect steps, or a checklist of spiritual practices. It responds instantly to the signal you're sending out right now. The only reason change sometimes feels slow is because you keep broadcasting mixed signals. Coherence, one moment. Reaction, the next. Like flipping a light switch on and off. The energy starts to flow, then gets cut off. Non-reaction keeps that switch on. It lets the energy build, stabilize, and solidify into the reality you've chosen. The real magic happens when you stop waiting for external changes before feeling internal alignment. You reverse the script. You align first. Then watch reality fall into place. This is the ultimate shift from the old paradigm. No more chasing outcomes to feel secure. You feel secure, and the outcomes come to you. You stop asking, when will it happen? Because you're too busy living as if it already has. And here's the beauty. You don't need to force it. You don't need to prove it. And you don't need to constantly check if it's working. Your job is to live as if you've already crossed the finish line. Because in the quantum sense, you have. All that's left is to walk it out in the physical world. The events, the people, the opportunities, they're just rearranging themselves to match the reality you've already anchored within. Every time you choose non-reaction, you're telling the field, I know who I am and I know what's mine. And the field, flawless in its reflection, bends every probability to align your outer reality with the inner truth you've claimed. This is why small daily shifts matter so much. Choosing calm in chaos, choosing trust when doubt knocks, choosing stillness when your old self would spiral. These choices aren't small, they steer your reality. Over time, this becomes effortless. At first, you'll remind yourself to pause, to breathe, to return to coherence. But soon, it's your natural state. You stop scanning for threats, stop reacting to every bump. Your nervous system rests in the vibration of having, not lacking. And from that place, manifestation doesn't feel like effort. It feels like life simply responding to who you are. And here's what most miss. Once you master this, you stop thinking about manifestation altogether, because life stops being about things to get. It becomes the unfolding of what you've already chosen to be. You're not waiting for your dream relationship. You're living as someone already loved, already chosen, already whole. You're not chasing wealth. You're living as someone who already has enough, whose choices reflect that certainty. You're not hoping for peace. You're embodying peace. And so your world adjusts to keep you there. From here, life feels different. The noise doesn't sway you. The urgency fades. You stop bargaining with the universe. You start conversing with it. And the dialogue is simple. Here's who I am. And the universe answers, then here's the life that matches. So keep your signal clear. Keep your presence steady. Keep walking as the version of you who's already arrived. Because when you stop reacting, you stop negotiating with the old reality. And the new one has no choice but to show up. And when it does, it won't feel strange. It'll feel familiar, like you've always been here. Because in truth, you have. You've been living it vibrationally for weeks, months, maybe years. The external world is just catching up to the one you've held inside. This is why people say, "It happened so fast." It didn't. You were just coherent long enough for the shift to become visible. And once you grasp this, you stop timing your manifestations. You stop measuring them. You stop doubting them. Because you realize the field always delivers exactly what your frequency asks for. From here, life becomes art. You paint with your state of being. You sculpt with your focus. Every choice, every breath, every moment of non-reaction is a brushstroke in the masterpiece you're living. And the more you live this way, the more you see manifestation isn't about single wins. It's about crafting an entire reality that feels like home. So the invitation is simple. Step out of the reaction loop, anchor into the frequency of having, and watch as the quantum field, without delay or resistance, reflects it back in ways more beautiful, abundant, and aligned than you could have planned. Because the truth is, you were never waiting for your reality to change. Your reality was always waiting for you to stop reacting. And the moment you do, it's not a matter of if, only how soon the new timeline unfolds. So, if this resonated, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Hit like, drop a 777 below to lock this shift into your frequency, and share this with someone ready for their next level. Your future self is already living the life you dream of. All that's left is to match the signal